Let's face it, if I can't sleep, hmm, y'all ain't gonna sleep either. So, what are we doing? We are looking at the developments that have been going on during the week. But let's start off with a little bit of this and that. On Twitter, let's we're gonna share our screen so that we can inspect Twitter here for a second. On Twitter, there are some things, well, the world never sleeps, right? So there are some things that have been trending on Twitter, and I'd like to catch you guys up to speed in regards to them, right? So the hashtag Black Women Care is trending on Juneteenth, right? And it's about Black women as care workers, as, I don't know, as nurses, as first responders. Also, it's also about self care. However, in every parade, there must be a black cloud hanging overhead to rain on it. In every chandelier, there must be a fly. Okay? And so, divested gang couldn't help herself. She couldn't help herself. I'm trying to find the tweet that she did in regards to Black women care. Hopefully I can find it. But the guy who responded to her on her tweet, her toxic ass tweet, he said that her timeline is filled with toxic ass tweets about black men. Let's see. Take a look at his bio. This is how black men treat their preferences. Again, more proof that their preference is truly black women's protection. Their violent obsession is more common than people think. Look at that. Did another voiceover thing. Okay, that's somebody else. Serena Williams. Ah, she's back to her good color. Before that, remember, unless maybe the one on the left is Serena Williams. Black women are so effing beautiful. Every hue, nose shape, body type, hair texture. We are here where we come from, how we sound, how we rise. Okay, got it. Chrissy Teigen is trash. The only Chrissy I like is from YouTube. Well, I don't see that many things. That bitter man really spent hours shouting at a billboard in the middle of Brooklyn. LMAO. Anyways, I hope black women continue to date whoever adds value to their life. I really have to go in. Eventually, I'm going to have to go in on the divested movement. Black women living carefree, happy, making money. Nothing wrong with that. But oh, you see what that is? Always, I know we make a cute couple. There is more than enough love here. Okay. Yeah, it's the divestment movement. But you know what though? If See, when black men start dating white women, you know what you don't see on our timeline? Shit about black women. Shit about black women. I love high maintenance black women characters. Yeah, they look good. They look good. Seeing black girls pull away from performative internet wokeness is so refreshing. Social media has created a toxic environment where young black girls are easy targets to exploit for others' political gains. That's why black female exclusivity is important. We need spaces for ourselves. This is a this is a whole dude saying this. Is this Shea Butter Twitter? Unless maybe I don't know how to read Twitter all of a sudden. And no, I'm not gonna click on this to see this Instagram thought. Nah, we good. Watch out, black woman. There is a movement going on consistent of. Look at this. Yeah, so the dude was right. Watch out, black women. There is a movement going on consisting of Negro males and their pick me Negro females that love to degrade and disrespect black women as restitution for black males' image. They disguise it under pro black family, black love, accountability, and humbling. Yeah, we don't need you anywhere near us, fam. We don't need you anywhere near us. You need to go over there in the goofy corner. All right. Be with your white guy and be chopped up in a fridge somewhere in like 1 year. Listen, if you're not gonna be outside with me like this, I don't want it. I'm so glad she isn't black. Black men and their preferences at it again. Uh okay, well, the thing is, this seems like some sort of fetish, some sort of kink. Why are you judging a kink? That's a kink. What else is going on here? Hunter Biden's baby mama. Finally, okay, got it, girl. Wow, the divested movement is full of sick puppies, man. Sick, 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 sick. Free black women from the shackles of feeling the need to explain their in real life relationships to random black males on the internet. Wow. The very idea of having to justify why I'm dating who I'm dating to someone, to some Tariq A. Sheed wannabes is nightmare inducing. Please love yourselves. Yeah. Why don't you go uh the rude the rude word for love. Why don't you go do that to yourself? Whatever you are. Looks like some sort of woman with a beard. There's a lot of things wrong with this video, but the most amazing aspect is that this black man feels absolutely powerless. The highest place a black man can get in society is being rich and married to a white adjacent woman, and even that will never be enough, so they lash out. Really? Let me see. What are they talking about?
Is this saying that it's better to get one of these, want to get a white guy? And listen, and I don't want any of you interracial motherfuckers that are in an interracial relationship making these stupid comments like, "What's wrong? Love is love." Shut your deluded ass up, please. I always hate that. Keep your fucking racial integrity. Just because you go on the other side of whoever you want to date, like I said, love is love. Yeah, but don't lose your fucking who you are. And a lot of you do that, tend to do that kind of thing. I have a problem with this. Now, first of all, where's the black dude with the white girl? First of all, we started that. All right, black dude had been messing with white girls for a long time, and that's half the reason why you just do this in the first place, because we were the ones that kind of abandoned you. I get that. Where's the black dude with the white girl? Where's that? No, because you know why? The people who run it look like him and don't want to see that. You know, there should be black dudes with white girls. There's so many of them. But then you got the white dude with the black girl. So, you know, there's probably some black women going, I need to get me one, yeah. I need to get me one. I need that. It's like, this is security down. You know? And it's so funny because a lot of us, I mean, from, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but AOC, yeah, you know AOC. What's that other girl, the Muslim girl from Minnesota, who's like in the House of Representatives? I don't know what her name is. Omar, right? They're the ones fighting against white supremacy, yet their men are white. All the men are white. I didn't know. I'm just saying. What is that? What is that? Tell me. Oh, you're going to complain. AOC, when that whole, what was that march? When they were marching to the Capitol, they were looking for her. She's like, oh, this is white supremacy. And her man is white. What a pale motherfucker. I'm just trying to understand this. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to take away from your message. When your man is white, you're preaching all this white supremacy. White male supremacy, the ones that are unfair to you in Congress, and then you got one. I just listen, guys. Am I crazy?
You know, the man's got a point. Man's got a point. Let me see what else is going on here. So I think that's enough. Look at this. So he's not mad about mixed relationships. He's bitter because there are not black guys involved. See, these are the divestors. Look at this face. Who makes this face on? Who wants to deal with this? Who wants to deal with this? The fuck off my screen. Anyhow, it's time for all right, everybody. A Karen, as per usual, got caught slipping. She got caught slipping out there. Okay, Karen, a strong face Karen too. Let me show y'all. Look at this. What in God's name? This looks like this looks like wow. It looked like Ric Flair. She looked like Ric Flair. The strong face Karen right here has a major problem with the statue of York, the slave that took part in the Lewis and Clark expedition. We were told about the Lewis Clark and well, first of all, strong face Karen defaces the statue of a handsome black man. All right. That being said, welcome to the Blowtup Show.
You, turn around.
You prefer the view from behind?
No, well, yes. You know I can't lie.
Now, I know I'm speaking a little bit slowly tonight, a little bit more chilled and relaxed. That's because it's late in the evening and some late morning to some of you, or is it early morning? Okay, so I'm gonna be like Sam Jackson. I'm gonna say,
let's slow it down. Let's slow it way down.
when I found out the video of Karen attacking the statue of York, the only thing, actually two things came to mind. One, the first thing that came to mind is, why is it these strong-faced Karens, these Karens are getting more and more strong-faced with every passing Karen? Every Karen incident brings a whole new Karen that's more strong-faced than the last Karen. Remember when Karen used to be at the very least, the original Karens used to at the very least be worth getting in trouble for. You know, like the Karens that got you in trouble in the 1950s when they're like, oh, did you just whistle at that white woman? No, sir, I didn't. Get him. That kind of Karen, you know, a soft, you know, feminine, you know, dare I say, quote unquote, pretty Karen, right? Those Karens used to at least look like females. But then recent Karens, like Barbecue Becky, remember her? Looking like some kind of, I mean, Jesus. And then with every Karen after that, they just kept getting more and more strong faced until we're left with, you know, this pro wrestler, this aging, this over the hill aging pro wrestler here, you know, male pro wrestler. That's what we're left with. My second thought, first thought is, why are Karens getting so strong faced? Second thought was, why is it the white supremacist female is making her presence known more strongly than the white supremacist male as of late? Have you guys noticed this? Have you noticed that these white supremacist females, they're coming out and they're being very bold with their language, all the N-words and this and that. And one of them was on the back of a truck and she yelled, she had her husband with a Confederate flag and she had all kinds of racist material in the back of the truck, like stickers and stuff like that. And she said, I'm going to teach my children to hate you. I'm going to teach them to hate all niggers. It's like, wow, what happened? Whatever happened to you staying quiet and letting your man do all the hateful shit? How about that? But no, Karen wants to be basically the man now. I guess maybe they're feminist white supremacists, right? Because we do have the Lauren Southerns and all these different people who are basically alt-right women. But anyhow, onto the video of this Karen.
Help? Are you okay?
Do you want to give us your name on the
Yeah, my name is Jeanette K. Brody. My date of birth is 9/13/78.
Hey, way to be part of the solution. Good job.
Come f***ing arrest me.
Good job.
I'm first, not color, race, or sex.
What's your name?
9/13/70. My name is Jeanette Brody. Reporting to the police. I will pay for damages if you want me to. All of you. I've been prejudiced against black people and Hispanic people, and everybody has. I'm sure you've been prejudiced against people have as well. I don't give a f***. Do whatever the fuck you want.
All right.
It's love and unity, not to replace a white man with a fucking black man. That is not fucking unity. Yeah, you go ahead, shake your head. I want the white privilege or whatever the fuck else you want for Unity Spiritual Center.
Karen's just mad that the body of the statue of York right there has more shape than her. That's what she's mad about. I'm convinced of it. I'm convinced. Because how can you be mad at, so angry at someone who's been dead for, how long has York been dead? 300-400 years? Something like that. How can you be so angry at someone who died so long ago? Oh, it's because we're finally getting recognition. So this black man, this handsome black man over here, let me get another figure of him here. Get the proper, you know what I'm saying? Look at that, looking all heroic. All right, my brother. You're finally getting the recognition. You died poor, and you died having no credit for what you did for Lewis and Clark, but you're finally getting your recognition. And that's why this Karen is pitching a whole fit. She's losing every inch of her damn mind. Why is it whenever black people finally get some credit for things that they deserve, these white supremacists go insane? They go nuts. This brother York, there's a lot that, because for me, I heard about Lewis and Clark, and that Lewis and Clark ventured out west and they explored the the wilds of America. Okay, it was all action adventure and heroic and exciting and epic, but I didn't know that a black man was with them and that they used this black man as a buffer because the Native Americans were hostile, especially with previous engagements with the European. Native Americans were hostile when they saw a white face. And so they put York forward. York was the buffer so that the Native Americans didn't kill Lewis and Clark. I didn't know this until now. And it makes sense because the previous story, now in retrospect, does not make sense. With the Native Americans being so hostile after being invaded by so many waves upon waves of Europeans, and they would just accept these two travelers? Makes no sense. These detractors would say, well, Native Americans are themselves white. You look at them today in those reservations, they're white themselves. They're white themselves. All right? And so, and we know who we're talking about.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Okay? Those are the people we're talking about. Yeah, they're white themselves. So, back then, so if Lewis and Clark met him, it's like meeting another white man, And then to those guys, I go,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
because the Native Americans we know now, they're what's called $5 Indians. Okay, or they're people with only fraction of Native American lineage inside their blood. Okay, Native Americans have been genocided, they've been diseased out of existence, or they've been bred out of existence. Okay, where their bloodline lives within other white Europeans. And Stefan Molyneux gave a backhanded compliment like that in one of his videos. I'm glad he's off of YouTube. I was gonna say, you know what, I'll go get a video of him saying it, and then we can dissect it. Nah, to hell with Stefan Molyneux. To hell with him. Bye. Better luck on BitChute or Gab or whatever white supremacist platform that accepts you, Stefan. In the meantime, though, it's reading time with your Negro, Brotep. Let's find out a little bit more about York, shall we? Because this is my first time knowing about York. I I I I swear to you, I have not heard of this man up until up to a day or two ago. Never knew about him ever. Just heard about him. And so, for those of you who are in the same boat with me, that you've never heard about him either, let's do a little quick. I'm not going to read the whole thing, obviously. York, 1700s. Okay, that's when he was supposedly born. 1700s before, and then to before 1832 he died, I guess. Was the only African American on Lewis and Clark's expedition and the first African American to have crossed North America to reach the Pacific. York was born enslaved. Oh, that's a hell of a thing. He was born enslaved. Okay, Candace, do you see why people want to celebrate Juneteenth? I mean, it's a thing to. I'm already too sad to read this. York was born enslaved, the son of Old York and Rose, who were the slaves of John Clark III, William Clark's father. York was William Clark's slave, willed to him by his father on July 24th, 1799. York was a few years younger than Clark, but very large and naturally strong. You know what? I'm thinking kind of like an Idris Elba, but with a bit more pounds on him, right? Make the movie, Hollywood. Or fuck it. Stay away from it. We'll make the movie. We'll make the movie. Black directors, y'all hearing me? Get to it. You got my money. Get to it. If it's on a streaming platform, I'll subscribe. If it's at the movies, I'll pay. Let's go. After experiencing an unprecedented amount of freedom on the Lewis and Clark expedition, York had trouble adjusting back to the life of a slave. After requesting William Clark for his freedom upon completion of the expedition, William Clark declined multiple times, which led him to become agitated with York and eventually hired him out for work in Louisville, Kentucky. Kentucky? According to Washington Irving, William Clark told Irving he had freed York, and he was lying, and given him 6 horses and a large wagon to start a drayage. What's a drayage? A drayage is a transport of goods over a short distance in the shipping of logistics industries. Drayage is often part of a longer overall move, such as from a ship to a warehouse. Some research defines it specifically as a truck pickup from a delivery to a seaport, blah, 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 blah. All right. To start a drayage business, oh, he was going to be the first Uber, the first Uber Eats. Good, York. Yeah, I wish that had worked out for you, bro. There are conflicting reports on York's death, but most historians believe he died of cholera on his way back to William Clark in St. Louis. One of the myths about York is that he couldn't handle freedom and he was a failure at business, and he was on his way over to become Like he was traveling to go to to William Clark to become William Clark's slave again because he couldn't handle it. It's propaganda. It's propaganda because we all know when those slaves were free and they were allowed to use their well-earned skills for themselves on the free market, you had things like Black Wall Street. Speaking of Black Wall Street, I think we're done here with York. Let me read like one or two paragraphs and then we're done. York was born in Caroline County near Ladysmith, Virginia. He and several members of his family were owned by the Clark family. The will of John Clark III, father of George Rogers and William Clark, states, I give and bequeath to my son Edmund three Negroes, to wit Peter, Vegas Child, and Scipio and Dorothy, Rose's children. I give and bequeath to my son William one Negro named York, also Old York and his wife Rose, and their two children, Nancy and Juba. All three old Negroes, Tame, Cupid, and Harry. The most plausible family tree based on this description, let me go down here, and others is that York was the son of Old York, not by Rose, that Scipio, a Roman emperor, I think, the name is a Roman emperor, also spelled Pipo, likely named the same as the Roman general, Scipio Africanus, and Daphne, also spelled that, blah, 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 were Rose's children, not by Old York. And all right, this is more, it's details about his life. But to paraphrase all this, lots of stuff happened, and York was a legit hero in that journey. Okay, he was one of the few people, and the thing is, it's so notable that they took note of it. That he swam to get. Look, if you can swim and get your own shit, why do you need someone else to do it? Okay. They had York swim because the other people on the journey couldn't swim. They didn't know how to swim. York was an expert swimmer, and York would be swimming to go fetch wood, for the flames, like wood floating on the rivers, and you dry it out and have flames, for a fire. He would be swimming to get, what do you call it? Ducks, maybe they shot and the duck fell in the water. He'd swim to get that. All these different things. York was also very, very strong. So he would fetch all the things that those guys couldn't. Also, York was very desired. You know who's not going to be happy to hear this? Let me actually go back here. Give me a second. People like OG Del Rancho are not going to be happy to hear this because York, as a black man, and as many black men, were very revered and wanted by the women of those Native American nations. One of the events that occurred is that when York was with Lewis and Clark, they had stopped by, I don't know if it was Seminole Indian tribe place. There's a guy, an Indian, who asked for York, hey, can I see you for a minute? When York came over there, it was an ambush because York came over there and the dude's like, no, right here, and the in the lodge, in the tent. So when York goes in there, it's the man's wife, the Indian guy's wife, who demanded York's attention. And the man stood outside of the tent to make sure that York and the man's wife were not interrupted. Perhaps he couldn't bear her children, like he couldn't give her children because maybe his semen was, his little boys weren't swimming. And so York, an expert swimmer, had to oblige them. He had to oblige them. Okay? OG's not going to be happy to hear it because he believes that Any woman who desires a black man has some sort of fetish and has problems with her own father. Those are his words, as per the expose that Radical did on him. So this guy York is worth celebrating. Okay, that's pretty much what I wanted to say tonight. Let me read some of these things here, some of these comments. Radical Haitian, I've been working hard. Glad to catch another live. I've been slacking. Okay, Radical Haitian. What's up, Terrell? What's up, Rad? All right, so it's just you guys greeting each other. So I'm glad you guys were awake for this. Anyhow, that's been the show. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. If you're on any social media platform, hold up. Actually, I needed to actually reiterate a message. Reiterate a message to those who want to challenge my knowledge, all right? And who want to be, Bro Tub doesn't know what the f- he's talking about, and who want to test me. Don't test someone you don't know. Reminds me of Rush Hour 2.
I'll be back. I'll be back. Ricky. Ricky Tan. Get up, dog. Let's go. Come on. I've been looking for you everywhere. Let's go.
I'm busy at the moment.
Ricky, did you hear what I just said? I'm busy too now. Get on your feet. Get up. Get on your feet.
I know you. You are Lee's American friend, right?
No, I'm Lee's new muscle. And don't let this robe fool you. This is the only color they had left. Now I said get up. I ain't gonna say it again.
You Americans are so funny.
And you Asians don't hear that well. Little Ricky, get your little punk ass up out of that chair right now. Messing up my vacation. I told you to get up, didn't I?
All right. So when you test someone you don't know what they're working with. So just stop. All right. From everything you've gathered from this channel, am I really someone to fuck with? Isn't my knowledge base enough to keep you guys in line? Really? I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But anyhow, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications if you're on any social media platform. Share a link to this channel, share a link to this video, and come back with a friend or two or 10. Peace out.